What would you do if you were part of a society where, in order for the sun to rise, the sun god had to be fed human hearts? In the heart of what was once the grand Aztec Empire, there lies a structure, not merely of stone and mortar, but of myth and divine purpose. Templo Mayor, the very axis of the Aztec universe, stands as a testament to a world where the heavens and the underworlds converged, a sacred space where the mortal and the eternal danced their intertwined dance. This was no ordinary temple. It was believed to be the center of the cosmos itself, a living embodiment of the world's sacred order. Rising toward the sky, Templo Mayor represented the 13 levels of heaven, each ascending tier a step closer to the gods. But beneath its stones, hidden in the shadows of its foundations, lay the 9 underworlds, a descent into the realms of the dead, where the souls of the departed would journey through trials and tribulations. To the Aztecs, this temple was the marker of the promised land, a divine axis where life and death met in perpetual motion. Here, the spiritual and the physical realms were but 2 sides of the same sacred coin, a place where the very fate of the universe hung in the balance. It was within these sacred walls that the Aztec people sought to maintain cosmic order, to ensure that the sun would rise each day and the stars would continue their celestial dance. Templo Mayor was not just a structure of reverence, it was a conduit to the divine, a place where the heartbeat of the universe could be felt in every stone, in every whisper of the wind, as it passed through the temple's hallowed corridors. At the very core of the Aztec Empire, Templo Mayor stood as the Axis Mundi, a sacred mountain, both real and mythic, that marked the very heart of the Aztecs' promised land. It was more than just a temple. It was the spiritual fulcrum around which the entire universe turned. To the Aztecs, this towering structure was the navel of the world, the place where the gods had chosen to descend and where the first dawn broke upon the earth. Here, in this hallowed space, the destiny of their people was written in the language of the stars, the wind, and the blood of their sacrifices. The Aztecs believed Templo Mayor was not merely a place of worship, but a bridge that spanned the vast chasm between the heavens, the earth, and the underworlds. At the temple's summit, one could almost touch the sky where the gods resided in their celestial palaces. From its base, the roots of the earth extended deep into the 9 layers of Mictlan, the underworld, where the souls of the dead embarked on their arduous journey through the darkened realms. In this sacred space, the mortal and the divine, the living and the dead, were bound together in a cosmic dance, each playing their part in the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The design of Templo Mayor itself was a manifestation of this cosmic vision, a living, breathing map of the universe. The temple's very architecture mirrored the dual nature of existence, light and dark, life and death, heaven and earth, intertwined in a sacred balance, sustained through ritual and reverence. To the Aztecs, Templo Mayor was more than stone. It was a sacred geography, a living symbol of their universe and the axis upon which their world turned. It was a place where the divine touched the mortal, where heaven and earth met, and where the eternal struggle to maintain cosmic order played out, day after day, sacrifice after sacrifice. In the pantheon of the Aztec gods, none stood as fiercely as Huitzilopochtli, the mighty sun god, the warrior who fought tirelessly against the encroaching darkness. His was a tale of eternal struggle, a mythic battle waged in the heavens, where the forces of light and shadow clashed in a cosmic war. Huitzilopochtli was more than a deity. He was the embodiment of the sun's relentless journey across the sky, the protector of the Aztec people, and the bringer of life to a world always teetering on the brink of night. To the Aztecs, each dawn was more than just the beginning of a new day. It was a triumph, a hard-won victory in Huitzilopochtli's ceaseless battle against the dark forces that sought to swallow the world whole. As the sun rose, it carried with it the light of life, a beacon of hope that shone down upon the empire. But this victory came at a steep price, for Huitzilopochtli's strength could only be sustained by the lifeblood of the living. The Aztecs believed that for the sun to rise, Huitzilopochtli had to be fed, and the only nourishment that could fuel his eternal struggle was the heart, still pulsing with the essence of life, offered in sacrifice. This belief shaped the very fabric of the Aztec worldview, casting life, death, and rebirth into an unending cycle, each turn marked by the flow of blood and the flicker of the sun's fire. For the Aztecs, death was not an end, but a passage, a necessary part of the cosmic order. Through sacrifice, they believed they were not only sustaining their god, but ensuring the continuation of all life, maintaining the delicate balance that kept the universe from descending into chaos. The act of giving life to Huitzilopochtli was both a profound honor and a grim necessity, a testament to their unwavering devotion and their acceptance of life's cyclical nature. In Huitzilopochtli's eternal struggle, the Aztecs saw their own lives reflected, a constant battle against the forces of darkness, a journey through the cycles of existence, where every ending was but a new beginning, every sacrifice a seed for the future. And so, as the sun rose each day, it carried with it the weight of their faith, the blood of their offerings, and the promise of life renewed. In the shadow of Templo Mayor, where the sacred met the mortal, the ritual of human sacrifice unfolded with a gravity that transcended mere brutality. This was not an act of cruelty for its own sake, but a profound offering, a gift to the gods that demanded the ultimate price. A heart, still pulsing with the vitality of life, torn from the chest and lifted high, a sacrifice to Huitzilopochtli, the sun god whose thirst for life could never be quenched. It was here, at the summit of this sacred pyramid, that the heart, the very essence of life, was offered to the heavens, its final beats echoing the rhythm of the universe itself. The process of sacrifice was a ritual steeped in symbolism, each step a part of a sacred dance that bound the victim to the divine. Prisoners of war, chosen for their bravery and strength, were not merely captives. They were seen as chosen vessels, destined to play a critical role in the cosmic order. From the moment of their capture, their fate was sealed, leading them on a journey that would end at the temple's peak, where the gods awaited their offering. As the ritual began, the air would throb with the sound of drums, the chants of priests rising to the heavens as the victim was led to the stone altar. With a swift and practiced motion, the obsidian blade would descend. And in that moment, the boundary between the mortal and the divine blurred as the heart was lifted skyward, offered to the sun that gave life to all. As rubble rolls down from the mountains, so too did the ripped hearts roll down the steps of Templo Mayor. These sacrifices were far more than mere bloodshed. They were acts of profound spiritual significance, essential to maintaining the delicate balance of the cosmos. Similar to the sun, its scale would rise and fall. An immense scale meant 80,000 prisoners sacrificed in 4 days. The Aztecs believed that without these offerings, the gods would grow weak, the sun would falter in its path, and the world would descend into chaos. Each sacrifice was a reaffirmation of the Aztecs' place in the universe, a reminder that life and death were inextricably linked, each feeding the other in a never-ending cycle. The blood that flowed from the altar was not seen as a loss, but as a necessary gift, one that ensured the continuation of life, the renewal of the earth, and the favor of the gods. In the eyes of the Aztecs, human sacrifice was the ultimate act of devotion, a testament to their unwavering faith and their understanding of the universe's complex, cyclical nature. Through these offerings, they sought to appease the gods, to maintain the order of the cosmos and to ensure that the sun would rise again, bringing light and life to their world. It was a ritual as old as time, a bridge between the mortal and the divine, where life was given so that life might continue, where the heart of a warrior became the heartbeat of the universe. Templo Mayor, rising majestically from the heart of the Aztec capital, was far more than a monument to Huitzilopochtli's glory. It was a sacred space where the divine manifested in myriad forms, a place where the heavens opened and the gods descended to meet their people. Here, in the shadow of its towering steps, the Aztecs paid homage to the full pantheon of their deities, each with their own dominion, each contributing to the intricate tapestry of their spiritual world. Among them was Ometeotl, the primordial duality, the Lord and Lady of creation, embodying both masculine and feminine, light and dark, a deity who existed before time itself, from whom all other gods were born. Ometeotl, though less visibly celebrated in the violent rituals of sacrifice, was the heartbeat of Templo Mayor's spiritual essence. As the god of duality, Ometeotl represented the balance and harmony that the Aztecs sought in all aspects of life. The priests, those who walked the delicate line between the mortal and the divine, played a crucial role in maintaining this balance. They were the keepers of sacred knowledge, the intermediaries between the people and the gods, entrusted with the rituals that sustained the cosmos. Clad in ornate robes and adorned with symbols of power, the priests led ceremonies that honoured not just Huitzilopochtli, but a host of other deities: Tlaloc, the god of rain, to whom they prayed for the life-giving waters, and Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror, a god of fate and destiny. The temple's very design was a microcosm of the Aztec worldview, with each stone laid to mirror the heavens above and the underworlds below. The dual pyramids that crowned Templo Mayor symbolized the two sacred mountains. The one on the left represented Tonacatepetl, the hill of sustenance, whose patron deity was Tlaloc, the ancient god of rain. The one on the right represented the hill of Coatepec, birthplace of the Aztec war god Huitzilopochtli, standing side by side, representing the balance between war and fertility, fire and water, life and death. Walking through its hallowed halls, one could feel the pulse of the universe, the invisible threads that connected the Aztecs to their gods, to the earth beneath their feet, and to the stars above. Templo Mayor was not merely a place of worship, it was the centre of a cosmic network, a sacred landscape where the divine and the mortal coexisted in a delicate dance of reverence and power. Here, the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual dissolved, and one could sense the presence of the gods in every breath of wind, in every ray of sunlight that touched its ancient stones. As the shadows of time stretch long over the remnants of Templo Mayor, we are left to ponder the enduring legacy of the Aztec spiritual practices, a legacy that resonates through the ages, like an ancient echo. The Aztecs, in their profound understanding of the cosmos, built a civilization that was inextricably linked to the divine, a civilization where every action, every thought, was a reflection of their intricate relationship with the gods. Their rituals, often brutal to our modern sensibilities, were expressions of a worldview that saw life and death as intertwined, where sacrifice was a necessary act to sustain the cosmic order. The spiritual practices of the Aztecs offer us a window into a world where the divine was ever present, where the gods walked among mortals, and where every sunrise was a testament to the eternal struggle between light and darkness. Through their devotion, the Aztecs sought not only to appease the gods, but to maintain the delicate balance that held the universe together. Their beliefs, carved into the stones of Templo Mayor, speak of a people who lived with a deep awareness of their place in the cosmos, who understood that their existence was part of a grand, cyclical dance that extended far beyond the physical world. Today, As we stand in the shadow of their temples, we can still feel the pulse of that ancient knowledge, a reminder of the Aztecs' complex relationship with the divine. Their practices, though distant in time, offer us insights into the universal human quest to understand the mysteries of existence, to find meaning in the cycles of life and death, and to connect with something greater than ourselves. The legacy of the Aztecs is not just one of conquest and sacrifice, but one of profound spiritual depth, a legacy that challenges us to reflect on our own relationship with the sacred, and to remember that, like the Aztecs, we too are part of a vast and intricate universe, forever in search of harmony with the divine. Dear Seeker, thank you for accompanying us on this journey. Subscribe for more explorations of the spirit.